What is up, everybody? Welcome back to some Mobius to Bluff. In this one, we're going to go over the October calendar. Great to see you. Hope you've been doing awesome. Let me know how you are down below, and happy October to you. So first of all, I was pretty hyped when I saw this because we've got a couple of new things coming, all Final Fantasy VII related. A new Aerith skins coming. We've got a legend, all legend jobs this month, so we'll talk about that later. We've got a new legend job for Wall. It'll be our Shinra Turk, and then we've got a new Supreme card coming. SAC Final Fantasy VII Supreme, all coming. So let's talk about everything else that's coming tonight for October 1st. So we've got Cloud Strife coming to multiplayer. We've got Pandemonium changes. Great for if you want to do some Magicite farming. So I was wondering about this. This is double stamina recovery event. Double stamina recovery campaign. I was wondering, is that our stamina gauge is going to recover double as fast? That's what it sounds like. I would have preferred a double elixir event, but double stamina recovery, I guess, is pretty good. Better than nothing. New Warrior of Despair, so episode 2 chapter 6 or whatever, season 2 chapter 6 is coming out, part 1. That's always good. So we'll have Ultimate Coliseum and Underground Coliseum come tonight. That's always good to get done. I want to say you need like a couple jobs to get it done efficiently, but it's definitely worth doing for the resources. On the 4th, we are going to see some new Legend Jobs Hall of Fames this month. First one is Hero of Despair. Oh, so the Sephiroth Legend Job. We're going to see Hall of Fame for that. And then the Aerith Legend Job, which is for Maya. We'll talk more about that down below. October 5th, we'll see a Limited Revival Greater Summon. Still really good cards on there. The Final Fantasy VII weapon cards are still really good. I want to say the Summer Dream cards are still pretty decent. The Maya one, the Fire Maya one, and the Water Sarah one are really good. And then if you don't have Donna and Donna and Bartello, Final Fantasy X for the FF10 banner, I'd recommend, throwing a couple pulls that way because those are all just really good cards to have. On the 8th, we'll see another Limited Revival Greater Summon. Okay, no. This is the one I was talking about. The FF7 Genova cards are all really good. Actually, the weapon cards are amazing. Don't get me wrong, but the FF7 Genova cards they're good, and they're good on a different level. Summer Dream Season 2, so if you missed any of the Season 2 card, I think I missed like all of these. And then Final Fantasy 15, that's coming back one more time too. So we'll see all that this month. So if you're missing any of those cards and want them, it's not a bad deal for you. So all that happens on the 8th. On the 11th, we'll see our first limited greater summon, our limited banner come this month. How long will we have this? We'll have this for about 4 days. So it's gonna be a couple of cards we'll talk about in a second on there. They're all break cards. BDD 2, I want to say, is coming our way. I looked at the cards. I thought they were decent, but from what I've been reading and hearing in the Discord and even on Reddit, it's not worth really having. But we'll talk about that more in a second. This is something everybody's been pretty excited about. Anima is coming to the Rift. Anima's card, I forget what the exact details are, but it's a pretty damn good card, and there's nothing else like it for a while. So definitely worth looking in. If you've been hoarding your Mystic Tablets, this might be a good time to spend them. I'm actually thinking about getting some Anima on because I don't have anything for Dark besides that single target Final Fantasy 15 Supreme card, which I don't like to use that much. Then we'll see the Midgar Flower Girl Legend. We'll talk about that more later. Chapter 6 on the 16th of October, Part 2 is coming out. And then we are going to see it's a Tifa skin for I forget her name. Sophie. So pretty cool. Another legend job. So this is a legend job, and then the Wall Turk job is going to be a legend job too. So just be careful this month if you're doing your pulls. Yggdrasil's going to get some new cards coming there. 18th will be our Mobius Day. 21st is Revivals Part 2. We're going to talk about all the Revival cards in a second, so I won't spend too much time there. But just keep in mind that you only have 4 days on these Revival banners. 23rd, we'll have this Soldier's Duel, a ranking event, so looks like we'll probably be fighting Cloud. We'll have our shop sale starting at the end of the month. And then I think just at the end of every month, they've been giving us this trap banner. If you've ever wondered if this banner is worth pulling on, it's a trap, but you can pull on it if you want. But there's really, I mean, you have a pretty good chance to summon Supremes in general. But if you're wanting something, very specific and you're willing to wail for it, then these are the banners for you. Coming on the 25th. We see these at the end of every month, though, so I just keep that in mind. October 28th will be our Mobius Day. October 31st will be Halloween. There's going to be a Halloween limited time event. Ooh, interesting. Trick or treat, it says. So check that out when that drops, because we only have until the 10th of November for it. So that's everything. So at first I looked at this and I was like, man, it's going to be a pretty hype month with these limited cards coming. Some very hype legend jobs. But then, I read a few things in the Dreamers Discord, and I read a couple things on Reddit. Let's go to the Reddit write-up by Malshiro of the Mobius FF Reddit. And as you can see right now, I can't leave thumbs up. My account's suspended right now for suspicious activity, whatever that means. I really don't know, but I guess Reddit doesn't like me browsing on Mobius. So let's look at this. And the first thing we'll talk about here is our Batch 1 Legend job. Let's just talk about the jobs really quick. So the Shinra Wall, it's a Ranger job. I'm not sure what role it is, but I know it's heavy on the break stats. So as you can see, lots of power on your ult, 3600 attack, 3600 break, breaks on all hits. So it's good. It applies boost, snipe, haste, weakness, weapon, ranger, trance, weaken, and prism shift. So it's good stuff. The weapon. Let's talk about that weapon really quick. Pierce rod. Maxed out, it would have ultimate charge on the abilities. It would have prism return 25%, quick break 20%, boost ult +1. It's a pretty good weapon, honestly. And then let's skip talking about the new permanent cards, because they're permanent cards. And let's talk about the Supreme, the new Zack Final Fantasy VII Supreme. I'm sure that's what you guys want to hear about. So that card is a life support. It does an AoE enemy yellow gauge clear. It's fixed 20%. I'm not sure. Okay, so yeah, fixed 20%. Let's just talk about it, and then I'll give you my thoughts down below, or I'll give you my thoughts. Debrave 3, Curse 3 turns of that. Brave 2, which is nice. Wall, ult charge. So the best thing about this support is definitely the AoE enemy yellow gauge clear. I know that on the JP side of things, this card is a lot more powerful. For some reason, it was debuffed when they brought it over to Global and everywhere else. So it's not as good as it is in JP. And in JP, from what I understand, it's not that good at all. That's why people call it Zuck or Zucks, because it kind of sucks. So really not worth pulling for at the moment, honestly. So I would just kind of, for me personally, I'm just gonna hold off. I don't really have the need to get this in my repertoire at this time. So let's read just the blurb down below. It says, for some reason, Zack Final Fantasy VII does not have the ES Quick Cast, the extra skill Quick Cast, so it doesn't even Quick Cast. Come the frick on, come on, man. Before the buff, Zack's Final Fantasy VII, or Zack FF7's yellow clearance was only one hit, so it could only remove freaking 900,999 unit of the yellow bar. It's very noticeable in high lap tower or on mobs with a thick bar like Demon Wall when Zack won't clear 20%. Interesting. And then it says new auto abilities. Counter resist, and counter limit. Counter resist is gain drive off enemy's element when enemy attacks. +1 is the cap. Counter limit is gain ult gauge when enemy attack. No cap known. So yeah. Probably cool for tanks. Honestly, probably great for tanks. God, I just don't want this at this moment. I'm sure it's a great card. That AoE enemy yellow gauge clear, I'm sure that will be very useful for a lot of people, but I'm not seeing it right now. And then if you want to come, I'm going to leave a link for this down below. If you want to come and read about like the debuff between JP and our side, then it's all right here. But I don't want to spend too much time dwelling on it because it's already disappointing enough to me. Let's talk about Aerith Gainsborough, our new mage skin. So she's going to do an ult that is one hit, 1,000 attack power, 3,000 break. I thought this was personally I looked at this and I was like, really, what? Like 1,000 and 3,000? The 3,000 is good, but the 1,000 is such a disappointment. But what it applies is really good. So we're talking about a full HP recovery, full Asuna, Trance 2, Faith, Barrier Wall, Omni Drive, Prism Shift. So that's all pretty good. From what I understand, it's... Oh, shoot. Okay, yeah, so... It does shine. Because everything I just read, like, that's for everybody in multiplayer, so this is going to be a godly multiplayer card. I mean, you might even be able to, with full Asuna, full HP recovery, you're not going to have to worry about a thing. So that's really nice. On the auto abilities, you'll have ultimate charge, abilities +1, barrier starter, guild up +20. Ugh, on all of that stuff, except for ultimate charge abilities +1. That's really good. Barrier starter, I'll take it. Better than nothing. The Rift Anima. Oh, okay, cool. So we can talk about that. The Rift Anima. Let's talk about the Extreme X version. This would be the best version of the card that you have. What it is a Ranger AoE attack power focused, but pretty balanced. 2,700 attack power, 1,800 break, 4 orb cost, multi-hit, 6 to 12 hits. Overkill, scatter shot. The number of hits scales based on the enemies on the field. Oh, so more enemies on the field, more hits. So that makes sense. The extra skill is Fortune. Every self buff increases elemental enhancement by 50%. Whoa. Damn, up to 500% for 10 buffs? Elemental enhance can be pretty godly. So... I mean, that's pretty good. And then it's got Flash Break 24%, Piercing Break 24%, Flash Break 24%. This might be one of the best Rift cards we've seen so far. Oh, okay, so it's like I should have read this earlier, but it's basically a dark version of Floral Falal, the Water Ranger card, if you have that one. It's kind of like that, which is a really good card. Let's move on. Let's talk about the limited greater summon revivals. Or, wait, rivals? Oh, yeah, it is rivals. So this is the Final Fantasy limited stuff that's coming this month from the 11th to the 8th. From the 11th to the 15th. And we have... I want to say all these cards are exactly the same. So yeah, they're all AoE. You got one for Rangers, one for Monks, one for Mages, and they all They look good on paper, I'll say. I mean, the brakes up there, the attack power seems to be up there. They hit multiple times. They have overkill. I like the BDD too. And the other skills on there: painful break plus 500%, piercing break, 20% exploit weakness, 20% two fractal slots. That's on the back side of the card. I mean, it looks good, but from what I understand and what I've been being told, it's not that good going into the future. So just keep that in mind when you're looking at these cards. If you have alternate versions of break cards for these elements, you might as well save your cards, from what I understand. So the BDD1, the difference between BDD1 and BDD2 is 25%. BDD1 is 50%, BDD2 is 75%, and BDD2 will overwrite BDD1. So, if you don't know, BDD is break defense down. So moving on, let's talk about the Sophie Avalanche Heroine. This is gonna be a cool job. I would like to have it, but too bad it's a legend. Her ultimate is going to be Meteor Drive, 3500 attack power, 1600 break, AoE, 5 hits, breaks on all hits, so that's not bad. Pretty strong. Applies Monk's Trance, Brave, Barrier, Berserk, Unguard on enemies, and it gives you a Prism Shift. The weapon is a Dolphin Flipper. That thing looks gnarly. Just looks wise. I wish I had a picture of it to show y'all, but we'll see it in game. And then it's a Sventivit copy. The weapon, so improved crits, prism return, painful break, boost ults. We're gonna skip talking about the permanent cards since they're permanent. But let's talk about the new EX card coming this month. Debarrier 2. Debarrier 2 strong, don't get me wrong. I'm not excited because I already have the Supreme with Debarrier 2 on it. So that's why you don't hear me like, oh my gosh, we should get this. It's a good card. Debarrier 2 plus On Guard. That's a good combo to have. But if you've got the Chaos Supreme, you might as well just use that. Let's see. So here's the second batch coming. And there's no dates for these written here, but it'll be the second limited greater batch summon of the month. Same thing, BDDs. So, yeah, I will probably skip all of it, honestly. Yeah, I mean, usually I always say pull on these legend cards, pull for these legend cards, but if JP players are telling us not to, then it's probably not worth it. So for the Hall of Fames, speaking of stuff that is worth it though, the two Hall of Fames are looking pretty good this month. The Hero of Despair and the Flower Girl of Midgard. Hero of Despair, he's going to have a 40% base attributes boost. Exploit weakness 350%. Very nice. He's going to get Spell Sword. I want to say that's weakness, element weakness on your ult. I could be wrong about that. Reunion 20%. Ooh. Extra. Wait, Reunion 20% more Reunion? Because I think he already had like 10%. And then he'll have a Ravage class panel that you can share for all your warriors. And Flower Girl of Midgard, she's going to have 40% boost to stats, 40% defense, or 40 base defense increase, which is 8 defense stars. She's going to have her light element enhanced 380%. Warrior, oh my god, what? She's going to get warrior lore. That's pretty great. That's pretty damn great, not gonna lie. And then Mage class panel, Skilled Duelist. Not bad. Okay. So everything else is opinions, so I won't read all that stuff because it'd be a ton of reading. So yeah, let me just run through this really quick. Lots of cool stuff coming this month. Unfortunately, both jobs are legend jobs, and the limited cards aren't super worth it. So, I mean, it's a great month for the Rift. really good month for that. It's a really good month for magicite farming and multiplayer since we'll have Cloud in there. You know, new stuff is always fun to do. Good month to catch up, do some story. But for me, what I would recommend you guys do is probably save all your resources this month and just stock up for the next few months to come, unless you really need something in one of these banners. But yeah, that's my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think down below. Happy October to you. I hope to see you soon. Thanks for coming by. Don't forget to show some support. Links down below. Special thanks to my patron this month, Donnie Wahlberg of the Dreamer Society Discord. Big shout out to him. And if you'd like to show some support the same way, links are down below. So I'll catch you guys later. See you soon. Take care. Good luck to you.